Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 138. It is Wednesday morning, the day we've all been waiting for, the big day. We're going to have a minimum $1,800, 1,800, I wish dollar, 1,800 mile drive minimum over the next 36 to 48 hours. 1,800 mile minimum. That's a long way to go. It's not going to be much sleep, and it's just going to be, trying to make money here, trying to make money there. I got an offer from that one place that I lost all that money at when they had that offer, and so now I'm going to be going there, take advantage of that, make some money on that, and hopefully never have to go back there again, because it's really, really out of the way. More than twice as far as I normally would go in a day. More than that, like more than 3 times as far as I would normally go in a day. So we're going to go do that today. Now, I did mention to my manager that Friday I was doing something at home, and it would be very easy to think that that means that I'm not going to be working at the office on Friday. And one of my teammates said that he's going to be in the office on Friday. So we're going to go check in today instead, Wednesday, and have today be the third day of the week that we work. So that's the first thing that we need to do. We're going to head to the office, check in, and then we're going to leave for our first casino. Right now it's 75 degrees, early morning. Looks like it's going to be clear skies, sunny, nice day, no wind at all. Let's get out there and make some money today. I think today could be a really good day. We definitely have to make sure our timing is right. We have to, keep our emotions in check and just try to make as much money as we possibly can anywhere we can. So there is a possible trap at the furthest location that we're going to. I have to be really careful. Definitely do not want to play table games there. So just got to be very careful for now. I'm welcome there, but in a second, those people are going to turn on me and say, get out of here and don't come back. So I don't want another back off for no reason at a mediocre place. So anyway, all right, let's head out, and I'll come back and update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. Just checked in at the office nice and early today, and there was nobody in there. It was pretty dead in there. Now, interestingly, as I was leaving, I see this guy, and I see this guy every day, at least 3 times a day. And he walks by my cube, and he has a leather jacket on every day. Winter, spring, doesn't matter. Summer, middle of summer, 90 degrees outside, he's got a leather jacket on. He's also got a wool cap on, like a wool cap, like for wintertime, on every day. Every day. He walks by my desk, let's say, at least 3 times a day, and he's got his hands behind his back like he's walking like some old Asian man through a garden or something. Every single day. And he was walking in, and it just cracks me up. How can you live that way? The building is already 74 to 75 degrees. I'm dying in there every day from the heat. And this guy's walking in with a leather jacket and a wool cap every single day. Unbelievable. But I saw him walking in, said hello to him for the first time. Usually he just walks by. I don't know what to think about this guy. I mean, when I see him, I think of like the little kid at school that his mom like overly bundles him up when it's not that cold, but he has to wear all these layers and stuff, and he does what he's supposed to do. Have you guys ever seen like Everybody Loves Raymond? And he's got this cousin Gerard, and he's kind of weird. He just acts weird and doesn't get along with anybody and all that kind of stuff. Look it up, Gerard from Everybody Loves Raymond. This guy looks exactly like Gerard and acts exactly like him. Anyway, all right, enough of that. Checked in at the office, and we are heading out for the day. Our first stop is 3 hours and 40 minutes away, so we're going to sit back and, settle in here. I got my laptop next to me. We're all logged in, and I don't believe that we have any meetings today. I think today's the last day that we don't have meetings this week. Of course, my Teams is doing an update when I go to check. Today, nothing. Tomorrow we have 3 meetings. One of them has been canceled, so we should be good. All right, we are heading out. I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, we are stopping for our first fuel stop of the trip, and I timed it pretty good, man. I told you Sunday night into Monday morning that I would be back in this area today around this time, and that I would be close to empty but not quite there, but I would make it back to this gas station, and it looks like I'm going to get to the gas station with 30 or 29 miles range left. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Early on into my trip, right now I've only been driving for a couple hours, so still have a long way to go to get to our first stop. Right now temperature is 79, kind of a hazy sky. Traffic is kind of heavy, unusually heavy, but we're going to stop here in a few minutes, get some fuel, and then we'll continue on to our first stop. I'll be back. All right, guys, I made a mistake. I said I was going to do an 1,800 mile round trip. It's actually closer to 1,100 mile round trip. I don't know where I made a mistake, but it's a lot shorter than that. More like an 1,100 mile round trip. So, all right, still about an hour and a half away from my first stop. I'll be back. All right, guys, finally here. Long journey. Just pulling in right now. Gonna get in there. It should be the shift change right around now. So we'll get in there, look around, and hopefully find some good plays. Hopefully we get a chance to play at least a couple sessions of blackjack today as well. So that's where we are. I'll be back. All right, I gotta just get in here and talk to you. Obviously, I got to my casino and walked around forever trying to find a play. Couldn't find anything. First couple machines, I won like 20 bucks a piece, and then I played one that was really good at $3 a spin and got my butt handed to me. Now I was down like 160, and there's no plays anywhere. Walking around, I see one in the far off corner. I've talked about this one before. It's a machine way off by itself. People love the machine. They should have like 10 of these things in here. Found a play on that one for, I want to say $1.50 a spin. No, must have been $3 also a spin, because it was a 2-cent denomination. Played that one and ended up getting all my money back, and I was ahead 66. And then played one more play at also $3 a spin, 5 spins, lost all of those, and I'm ahead $52 on the slots, 52 and change. So then I'm walking around looking for blackjack, and I finally find a table, and I'm going to check here in a minute, but I say to the pit boss, I don't want to be rated. He says, okay. I'm like, okay. I didn't see him really put anything in the computer, so I don't think he did. Which is interesting, because if you remember last time, I made a big deal about it, talked about Fourth Amendment, which doesn't really apply here, but talked about Fourth Amendment and all that. And all of a sudden they removed the rating that they had put in for me, which was $0 anyway. But anyway, so I end up buying for $300 on a low limit table, and playing that and lose it pretty quick within the first shoe, and then buying for $300 more, and then $300 more. I'm in for $900 within the first 25-30 minutes on a low limit table. But I ended up playing that table for 2.5 hours, which is like ridiculous. I haven't had a 2.5 hour session in so long, but I was able to play it for like 2.5 hours, and just spreading 1 to 6, just trying to make it, just trying to like do something, you know, without being scrutinized every second. So now people are coming and going, and I'm starting to rat hole. 25 here, 50 there. Okay. And I end up rat holing about 150. Now, I had 2 dealers. One is an Asian guy and with gout, he's telling me. I said, someone asked him, how are you doing? I'm not allowed to complain. I said, why would you complain? Everyone's being nice other than blowing smoke in your face. He's like, I have gout. Anyway, I got him, the Asian guy. He's more like a Polynesian type look to him. And then I had another guy who was an old man who, he's been in the casino business for his whole life probably. So the old man, old white guy, at one point looks at me and says, you're a card counter. I'm like, what? He goes, you just got 2 blackjacks in a row. You must be a card counter. I'm like, ha ha ha, that's funny. Well, it was like a true one, so I had pretty small bets out there. Anyway, then he left. The other guy comes back, I hold, and there was one guy that came to the table. He sat down, he bought in chips, and then he walked away. He didn't play. So I brought that up because this guy seems to be like really watching the number of chips on the table. So I end up finally leaving ahead. I think I'm ahead 200. I haven't checked the money, the chips in my pocket. Ahead 200. So I colored up 950 and I had 150 in my pocket, pretty sure. And he goes, okay, 950, is that right? Is that what you want me to say? 950 is, what did he say? He said 950, or at least that's what I know about. That's what he said. I'm like, wow, this guy is really on top of it. He knew that I was doing that, most likely. And so anyway, I don't care. Ended up walking away 200 there. So I've been here for quite a while. I'm going to call home when my kids is being punished, and I'm going to talk to the wife about it. And I'll be back to update you. We're going to be here for quite a while still. I'll be back. Yeah, man, how quickly things change. I found another 2 plays on the same machine that I lost money on earlier. An unbelievable position. I had to take pictures of them because they paid so poorly in that position. I had to take pictures. Anyway, ended up losing. I was down to basically break even on the slots, and then there was one I was walking by that someone was playing, and I'm like, I had to have seen that wrong because you have to look in a certain spot to see it. And so I came back around and looked, and yeah, I was in a good spot. So I waited for a minute, and then when I was able to, I sat down and played it. Ended up winning 74, so back to being ahead 74. So right now, I'm going to take a little trip around, and then probably going to take a break in the car, double check all the stuff at work, and then we'll come back in here and see what we can do. But so far, a little bit slow, but not terrible. At least I had a chance to play a lot of blackjack. I'll be back. Alright, we're going back to the car. We're locking in. One more thing here to check. If there's nothing on this one, we're locking in 52 on the slots. And gonna head to the car. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. We gotta step this thing up a little bit because today has not been the producer we're looking for. Just played 1-3 no limit for 2 hours at the slowest table you could imagine, and ended up leaving down 261, which means overall for the day we're just about even, maybe up like $10 or $12. Wasted all that time. So we're gonna go look for something else, maybe some blackjack or something, and do a little bit better, and we'll see what happens. That was the most boring game. And then finally this kid comes to the table and he's raising everything, and I'm swinging and missing everything. So, sometimes it's like no matter what you do, you're not gonna get the card that you need. So that's what was happening there, is no matter what. I couldn't even get a pair. So fold, call, fold. Thank you. So anyway, all right, heading over here. We're looking for something else. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and man, that was another long one here. A lot of nothings in there. Like I said, I did play some 1-3 no limit, and that didn't turn out very good. pulling up my sheet here, I ended up down $261. Then played some slots, played some blackjack, found a table where the pit boss is pretty much the only one who said, you know, I'll take care of you, man. I won't put you in the system. Along with the people this morning who didn't know who I was. So that worked out pretty well. I got some time in on both of those tables, but just couldn't make any money. This morning I made $200. Is that right? Yeah, 200. And then this afternoon I made 300. And this time, the first time was about 2.5 hours. This time was a little over a half hour. I was playing with a guy who was playing two hands, and he was getting change every hand. And every hand he won, they gave him change out of it because he bet his hand and the side bet on two hands, and he tipped the dealer $5 on the regular hand and on the side bet on both of them. So he was tipping $20 a hand, and he was basically betting like 50 on the hand and 20 on the side bet. So what is that, 140? He's tipping 1/7 of his bet. So whatever. That'll never turn out good. So anyway, ended the session. I had 300 on that, and then looked at a few more slots on the way out, and was pretty much just sick of being there. Ended up leaving ahead 79 on the slots. My nose is all stuffed up from all that smoke in there. Blow my nose here. I'm just gonna take a little rest down the street. I do have a long way to travel still, but I do want to hit this place one more time. The shift change is about to happen, so we'll wait for the shift to change, and then we'll come back and try to hit them one more time, at least get something. Another 300 would be nice. Anything. So we'll see what happens. It is getting very busy. There is an event nearby, so it's pretty packed. But anyway, I'll be back. All right, yeah, real quick, just wanted to mention that I was plagued with negative counts most of both of those sessions. So, you know, I did get some big bets out there, but not very many. And my spread wasn't that big anyway, because I was trying to kind of test the waters and make sure I'm not on the radar anymore. So, yeah, I mean, didn't really even have a lot of weird hands. Not a lot of splits, not a lot of double downs. Just a pretty crappy, you know, no opportunity day. In fact, it was 2 full shoes into my playing blackjack before I actually got a blackjack. I mean, that's pretty bad. So anyway, yeah, just gonna go down a little further down the street here and park and take a break, and then we'll head back down there in about half an hour. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Wow, looks like we had quite a little rainstorm out here, and I missed all of it. Geez, must have rained a lot in that last, whatever, hour and a half to 2 hours, hour and a half I was in there. Man. You know, let me just say this before I continue on about what just happened. Earlier on in the day, I had that one session where I won $300 on the blackjack. The only reason I played that table is because that pit boss is the only pit boss who knows my name that I trust not to put me in the system. Well, he put me in the system. So he and I are going to have a long conversation next time, and then I'm not going to his table ever again. And he can deny it all he wants, but it was definitely him. It couldn't have been anyone else. He was in charge of that table, and it couldn't have been anybody else. And I'm pretty upset with the guy. Honestly, that's really wrong of him to act that way. So, well, whatever. That's the way it's going to be. Then I guess that's the way it's going to be. Oh, it's taking me this way? Okay. So stupid. Really. I'm going to be their top tier practically here. And I tell them not to put me in. And it's like I keep moving up in the ranks. Alright, so started off playing slots, and I was down about 205, and I ended up going to the high limit area to play some blackjack, and was standing around trying to figure out what to do, because there's a lady that doesn't know my name but knows my situation, and she's the pit boss there. And last time I talked to her, she acted like she's never heard of any of this stuff. She doesn't know why they're putting me in. She doesn't know my information. She would not put me in, and I'll hand it to her. She didn't put me in. So I sat at the high limit table. I was not going to be messing around. Since she wasn't going to put me in, I was going to go all out. I bought in for 1,000 instead of 500 like I normally would, and started playing. And I made a joke about going all in on the first hand, and what do you think happened? First hand was a blackjack. Of course it was. First hand was a blackjack, dealer 20. Second hand was a 20, dealer 20. Third hand was a 20, dealer 20. And there goes the count. Now we're at a true -2, and we haven't even started the shoe. So, of course, I'm still min betting. I get through almost the entire first shoe min betting. Move on to the next shoe, and this guy comes to the table. I'd say like 35-year-old black guy, well dressed, but I've seen him before and I've played with him before. But to be honest, he has no freaking clue about how to play blackjack. What are you doing in the high limit area? And he's buying in for thousands at a time, and he's playing the side bet. He's like, I have an ace-3 against the 6. What do I do? I have sevens, a pair of sevens against the 4. What do I do? I'm like, you don't know about splitting sevens against the 4? I mean, you're that clueless? You don't understand how things work? Of course, soft 18, nobody really plays that right, but it's so crazy how bad he played. So I played a couple shoes with him, and he was just too bad of a player, and the count was too negative anyway. So I ended up moving on to another table, which has got a friend of mine at the table. And interestingly, I was ahead like $700 right away. By the time I moved tables, I was down, and went over to that table. And that guy and I have talked a lot about gambling, because I've seen him at the other casinos not too far from here, and I feel bad for him because I can't really tell him, but all the stuff that he talks about and that he plays and his desperation and stuff, I feel bad. I really do, but what can I do? Am I really going to tell him what to do? He's not going to believe me. If he believed me, he'd have to turn me in. I mean, there's like nothing I can do. I have to watch him lose. That's the only thing I can do. And he's such a nice guy, but what could I do? He tells me about, like, sometimes he feels like walking in to a casino and just putting a $5,000 bet on something, either blackjack, baccarat, or roulette, just one spin, and if it wins, walk out. But then he's like, but if I lose, I don't have the money to back it up to try to get it back. And he's told me before about how many thousands and thousands he's lost, and it's like, I feel bad for him because he sees people lose all day, and then he sees clueless people accidentally back into a large amount of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes. And he's like, that's like 5 years salary, 6 years, 7 years salary for him, depending on how much it is. And I can understand his pain, but honestly, if casinos were smart, they would make it against the rules for any of their dealers to gamble within 500 miles. If you want to gamble, go to Vegas once a year, blow your money out there, and at least it's only happening once or twice a year. But yeah, anyway, I ended up having a few decent shoes. Oh boy, flooded road. Hold on. Woo. Luckily, I was in the lane with the least amount of water, but there's really bad over there. I don't know how this happened. When I went in there, there was no rain at all. It didn't even look like it was going to rain. And anyway, I ended up going back and forth for a while. It started moving in the positive direction and stayed there for a long time, but never really, shot up. But I did end up leaving that table ahead $1,350, and that's good, thankfully. So we had 3 decent winning blackjack sessions today, totaling what, 13, 16, 18, 50, 1850. That's pretty good. And we lost a little bit on poker so far today, but we got a long way to go. Right now, we're moving on to the next casino. I've been driving for a minute here. Still have a few hours to go, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back, and just getting to this next place. Just walking in right now, and I see some kind of stuff from work. I'll look at that later, but finally got here. Gonna head right to the bathroom first, and then slots and hopefully blackjack. Alright, I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. That was terrible. They took out most of the good stuff that was in there. I saw an advantage player playing a machine. There were 2 bonuses that needed to be hit. And when he would hit the bonus, he would get up off the machine and walk over like to the next aisle away from it so that people wouldn't see that he was sitting in front of it. And then when he hit the other one, he did the same thing. And that's like pretty telling when it's so bad that you don't want them to see that you were even playing something. That's pretty bad. So blackjack, not enough tables open, crowded, nowhere to sit. The only thing that was available was a hit 17 8 deck. I'm not going to play that. And slot wise, very poor. Most of the good stuff is gone. Even stuff that I hadn't even played once, that I had like seen it here, but I hadn't even found a play on it yet. So that's pretty bad as well. So I ended up just playing a couple slots, a couple small plays, and that was it. I mean, there was nowhere to even try to put money, nothing to throw money at all. So, and this is one of the scarier casinos where I actually stopped about a mile down the street and put the license plate cover on and then come out here. So I have so many license plate readers here. So right now we are leaving here. We're hoping to get down the street before we get anyone behind us, like a police officer of any kind. And these guys own some of the businesses nearby as well, so we don't just want to pull over at the first business we see. We need to go down the street, around the corner, and then down that street, and then we'll be able to stop and take the license plate cover off. So yeah, that's pretty bad. So plus $10 on the slots, nothing else. And I was in there for only like 45 minutes. This is a pretty big place. Probably walked around the place 3 times, 4 times, and could not find a thing. And that was pretty scary to see the advantage player starting the bonus and then walking away from the machine so that nobody would see that it was him that had the bonus. That's pretty bad. And he kept staring at me. I would like walk by because I didn't know for sure if he was or not. So I'd like, when he hit the first bonus, it was like a smaller bonus. And that one was like, okay, well, he could still walk away from it if he's just a regular player. So let me just watch this for a second. And then he hopped back on and he kept on playing and he hit the other one. So obviously he had some idea what he was doing. There are a lot of progressive jackpots. Almost all of them were at reset level. There are other ones that are similar to progressives, and all of them were at reset. So that's really bad. I did find a couple machines that had okay plays on them, and that's where I won the $10. That's off of a couple of machines. So yeah, it was not a very good time. So right now we're gonna head back to this gas station about a mile away, and we're almost there. And we're gonna get this license plate cover off right now, and then we'll get back on the road, and we should be good. So I just wanted to safely get to this gas station, which we just did. Yep, we're cool. All right, let's get this plate cover off, and then our next spot is quite a ways away. I think it's well over 2 hours away. I have to put it in the map, and I'll come back and update you. All right, guys, getting late, almost midnight, and still have over an hour and a half to go. Right? Let's see, about an hour and 20 minutes to go. So right now I'm going to stop and get some food. I stopped at a truck stop and it was terrible. There was nothing good in there at all. And unfortunately, it looks like the only thing that's going to be open right now is Taco Bell. So it looks like we're going to be going to Taco Bell. So it's about a mile and a half from here. So we're going to head over to Taco Bell, grab that food, and then continue on our trip. Probably just let me get that and take care of that, and then I'll come back and go over some things. I'll be back. All right, guys, we got a long way to go still to our next stop. Let's kind of catch up on stuff here. We can do some segments, talk about our plans for the next 24 hours, all that stuff. Let's do segments first. What did you eat today? MW had some vegetables. I had some chicken fajita, and I just had a Mexican pizza from Taco Bell, along with a grilled cheese steak burrito, which was awful. So let's start with the grilled cheese steak burrito. I give that a 3 on a scale of 2 through ace. And the Mexican pizza was okay, not as good as it used to be. I give that a 7 on a scale of 2 through ace. And then the chicken fajita stuff, I give that a 9 on a scale of 2 through ace. Not our best day as far as meals. What did you tip today, MW? I did tip about $1 a hand for the poker that I played. So that was probably, I don't know, $7 or so that I won there, maybe 8. And then as far as the blackjack, I had 3 sessions, all of them positive, and I tipped a total of $0 on those. And what did you learn today, MW? Well, if I ever have to make this trip again, I think I can leave home later, like maybe 10 or 11 in the morning, especially right now in the summer. I can get to see the kids a little bit and have a little bit more daylight to do stuff at home, and then I won't end up in this little void that I'm going to have right now. I'm actually going to go to a different casino than my target that's close by to the target, and we're going to do a little run through there first before going to the main casino that we were planning to go to, because I have too much time right now. And then we'll head to the car, take a nap, and then head back in, take one more lap, and then start heading back. So, sorry, I don't know if you can hear that beeping. That's my car saying, why isn't your hand on the steering wheel? But it is, but my car's going in a perfect straight line, so it thinks I'm not here because I'm not moving the steering wheel. Anyway, nice night now. We did have a lot of rain on the way to where we are right now. But right now it's 73 degrees. Everything is good. It's after midnight, and we're going to continue on for about another hour or so, and I'll let you know what happens. We'll catch up tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.